Life Wealth family, great to be with you again here. This is Hilgardt here from the captain's seat. If you were like me, enjoying my weekend, minding my own business, you started seeing your phone blow up with some bad news, the news that a bank in California went bankrupt. I was literally playing golf and reading the articles and just really seeing and interested to see how this would play out. This morning was a busy morning for us, and I wanted to share just some context with you relative to Silicon Valley Bank and what happened there. It was the 16th largest bank in the United States. It was a publicly traded bank, traded on the NASDAQ. And essentially, here's a few things that has happened. Now, I'm going to share with you some of these major points, but back of our minds, we are wondering if this is the beginning of many other types of banks and a rolling effect or contagious effect to other banks as well. So I'm going to speak about that here in a second. But as it pertains to Silicon Valley Bank, a few things that's unique about the bank, and more or less this is what happened. This bank has a lot of clients who are in the tech startup space, obviously Silicon Valley, right? And they have a lot of banks who have money on deposits. And as you could see, you probably have heard me say, around about December of last year, we started seeing large tech companies start laying off people. The tech startup venture capital area is under pressure at this point in time. When the economy turns south, money or cash flow towards these types of business interests or businesses starts drying up. So the inflow of new money coming into the bank is stopping or drying up, but the outflow is substantial because these startup technology companies still have payroll and they hire a lot of people and facilities, and so they are drawing money, large blocks of money out of the bank. The bank started experiencing this problematic situation for any bank and attempted to sell some of their stock by raising capital for the bank because banks have to have a certain ratio of the value of their underlying assets and the amount of cash that they need to have on hand in order to be able to make withdrawals happen for their clients. And when these ratios got damaged substantially and the bank essentially dried up and couldn't fulfill on the drawing of deposits back to their clients Thursday and Friday, the FDIC came in and seized the bank. So a huge amount of money drawing out of the bank, not a lot of new money flowing into the bank. The bank tries to raise capital by selling some of their stock. That didn't go off well. Now word's out that the bank is potentially under stress. Existing clients have a run on money. They go in there and they grab large blocks of monies out, increasing the problems for the bank. And so that's why the FDIC went in. So when the FDIC goes in, they guarantee that anybody having $250,000 or less in that bank will have their monies, but anybody above $250,000 could potentially be in trouble. This morning, the government came out and said, no, even companies who have more than $250,000 or people that have got more than $250,000 on deposit, they will also get their monies so that these companies could keep on going. And that way, the FDIC or the federal government avoided just a lot of companies going out of business. Now, something that's also of news is that there was a second bank in New York that voluntarily closed their doors, and the FDIC stepped in as well on them, and that's called Signature Bank. So a few things that we saw happening this morning is that the federal government decided to step in and guarantee people's account values above 250. Now I'm going to move over here and just talk briefly about whether or not this is a beginning of the end for the banking system or a continuous run on the bank, or if you should be concerned about your bank balances. The first thing I would encourage you to do is look at your bank accounts, your checking and savings accounts, and make sure you have less than $250,000 per account title with your current banks, even in your businesses. This morning, I did that. I actually opened up a second business banking account because our balance is over 250, and just for safety precautions, just be smart about that, because if this would continue to go on, remember the FDIC would stand with a 250,000, and I don't see them being able to make this kind of exceptions going forward. Now, We do feel it's somewhat of an isolated situation because not all the banks have that high of a concentration of technology companies as their clients, and are not subject to the type of risk that this exact bank was subject to. We'll have to see how that plays out in the coming weeks. We do know that this is going to be a volatile week, and we've already seen that bank stocks are down about 10% this morning, and today's trading so far. So there are concerns when a bank goes out. There are concerns, and so that's fair enough. So we'll just keep a very, very close eye on this. Interesting sake, only one of our clients had stock in that specific company. That stock is frozen at this point in time. And luckily for that client, it wasn't too much. We are diversifying your positions, obviously, and we are watching over your holdings. I want to remind you that I am managing my own money as well. And so the pain that you're going through is the pain I'm going through personally, right? And so we do expect the recession to take place this year. You've heard me say that, and I'm saying it again. It's going to be a very volatile year. It's going to be tough. If you need to just visit and check in with us, feel free to call, and we would be happy to sit down with you on the phone or answer questions for you as it pertains to your specific positions in your portfolio. I believe we've made a lot of corrections last year in anticipation for this recession, and we continue to dial that in for folks who feel that they need more downside protection. So we're here for you. Have a great rest of the week, and I know it's going to be volatile, so focus on your children rather than the news if you could. Okay, have a great rest of the week.